Well, what's interesting to me is that the Biden-Harris administration has done something 2 weeks ago that has never been done in American history, which is to send exactly lethal force, to send a directive to the Pentagon, changing the law to make it legal for the U.S. military.
All right, guys, we're going to get right into it. We are less than 2 weeks away from the election. Please stay up on your preps. Please stay up on your food and water storage. Please. And I don't know if you guys noticed that your phones are being really weird lately, going really slow, losing connections. A lot of our stuff has been like unlogged out and we had to log back in. There's just a lot of weird stuff going on with the internet. I know that Klaus has said that we should expect a internet blackout, right? So just there's a lot of things going on as this election draws near, and you guys can see it on the daily of the things that are going on, right? Every day there's something new popping off. But what I want to bring to your attention right here is this DOD directive 5240.1, because I think that things are getting put in place right now for after the election. Okay, so please do not be complacent in your thinking. Please do not think that once President Trump gets elected, it's over, or once maybe Kamala gets elected, that it'll be over. Okay, because what I'm sharing with you right now in this video is alarming. Okay, and I think that they're preparing for something bigger. Okay, DOD intelligence and intelligent-related activities, a defense intelligence component, assistance to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities. First off, what I want to do is I want to bring to your attention that it's clearly in the Declaration of Independence that when the government becomes the enemy of the people, that the people have the right to remove and abolish said government. And I find it very interesting that here in America, that we allow politicians, okay, to maybe implement stuff like that, the DOD directive, which basically squashes our ability to do what the Constitution has legitimately given us, you know, rise to, right? And that's, I also find it very interesting that we let the same said government dictate to us what weapons we can own and not own. Do you guys kind of see where the conflict comes in this? Because they are going to do everything they can to preserve their power. And it's going to be up to us to relinquish them of said power. So I just find that a very strange dichotomy. But we're going to get right back into it. This was put out on September 27, 2024. Cleared for public release. Available on the Directives Division's website. And I can hear the helicopters coming in already. Can you hear them? They don't want this information getting out. Maybe they do. So basically, they just released the DOD directive. There's a couple pages in this thing. It lists the levels of authority, but in section C here, it says clearly, assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality, or any situation which is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force, including death or serious bodily injury. It also includes all support to civilian law enforcement officials in situations where a confrontation between civilian law enforcement and civilian individuals or groups is reasonably anticipated. Well, I would think that if they would steal the election, if Trump just shows such a landslide win and they come out and say Kamala's the winner, I would suggest, and I would actually believe, that that would cause a lot of the citizens to be so ticked off that they would take to the streets. Can you guys see where I'm going with this? They just released this directive. Okay? Now here's Robert Kennedy Jr. talking about the same DOD paperwork.
Say one other thing. President Harris said today in her post, in her speech, she said that President Trump was going to turn the U.S. military against the American public and use the public to promote his agenda. How many of you think that is true? Well, what's interesting to me is that the Biden-Harris administration has done something 2 weeks ago that has never been done in American history, which is to send exactly lethal force, to send a directive to the Pentagon, changing the law to make it legal for the U.S. military to use lethal force against American citizens on American soil. Technically, now it's legal for the U.S. military under this directive. It will become legal for the U.S. military to shoot and kill Americans who engage in political protests because they disagree with policies in the White House. I'm not making this up. Any of you can look it up. This is a Democratic initiative. This did not come during the Trump administration. This did not come from Donald Trump. It came from the Democratic Party. And that's why I left the Democratic Party.
Well, I'm just imploring you guys just to stay up on your preps. Make sure you have food and water that could last you several months. I'm doing some follow-up stuff on the Maui fires. Do you guys know that's been 17 months, over a year, almost a year and a half? And you know what's going on over in Maui? Absolutely nothing. All they're doing is restricting the residents from returning to their homes. They're cordoning off areas, and they're bullying them and pushing them out of the way. 17 months. So just think about what's going to be happening in North Carolina. I also have some information that there's another hurricane forming out in the ocean that could make landfall right in time for the election. Okay? A lot of the Republican states are getting taken out by this fake natural weather disaster stuff, okay? Because they are using the weather technology that I've showed many times here on this channel and that they are clearly in possession of to manipulate the weather. And you can believe it or not believe it, but it is the facts. Another thing I want you to understand is even if Trump wins the election, they're already putting in place their systems, okay, to contest it. They're going to use the insurrection. That's going to be lawfare that they're going to bring against Trump and say that he can't even win because it's lawfare. But here's Kamala Harris telling you right to your face that they already have everything in play and they're going to be ready on election night.
We've got 2 weeks to go, and I'm very much grounded in the present in terms of the task at hand, and we will deal with election night and the days after as they come, and we have the resources and the expertise and the focus on that as well.
So you have teams ready to go? Is that what you're saying? Are you thinking about that as a possibility?
Of course.
I'm not sure how any of this ends. I'm just trying to bring you guys the information that I find very suspect. Like, I find it very suspect that the White House would come out with a DOD paper that is literally saying that they're giving the green light for the military to engage citizens in the United States, which is unconstitutional, by the way. So it's very interesting to me, and it's right before the election. All right, share this video with your friends. Let me know down in the comments section, did you know about this DOD letter? And also on yesterday's video, did you know that Bush and Nancy Pelosi were pallies? That they were in it together. You guys, this right-left paradigm, this, Republican, Democrat, two sides and everything, it's all fake. This is all fake to pigeonhole you into thinking you have a choice. All right? So seriously, as the election draws near, don't take your eyes off of this, what's going on. All right? And then after the election and you see what's going on, maybe I'm just all full of it, none of this even happens, and man, that'd be great. But at least you'll be prepared if this thing does pop off. All right, I'm gonna get back to cutting my limbs here. I'm out trimming some trees. I'm marking some of my dead trees for winter wood so I can get out here in the winter time when the leaves are off and I'll know what my dead trees are versus my live trees. So I mark those with a red X with some spray paint, and I'll come back here when the snow's flying and I need something to do outside. Also, when you collect firewood in the winter time, it's better because all the weeds are down, the bugs are down, the snakes are hibernating. It's a lot better time to cut wood in the winter time. That's why you mark your trees, because all the leaves will be off these trees in a minute and I won't know which ones are live and which ones are dead. All right, we'll see you guys on the next video. Please share this with your friends so they can understand that we're like less than 2 weeks away from, it could be total chaos, quite honestly. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Share this video with your friends and we'll see you on the next video.